Elena, I need you to walk me through this again. From the beginning. Those were the words my manager said, the moment the conference room door clicked shut behind me. No windows in that room. Just a table, a folder, and a clock I could hear ticking too loudly. I could have told her everything right then. All of it. I didn't. Because by the time I sat down in that chair, I already knew exactly how this story ended. I'd read the last page 3 weeks before I ever walked through the front doors of Halworth and Vance. 3 weeks earlier, Elena Marsh, welcome. First day nerves? A few. Mostly excited. That part, at least, was true. Not about the job, about finally being close enough to watch it happen again. My manager, Margot, walked me across the floor like she was showing off something fragile. You'll be working under Bianca on the Faro account. She's one of our best, a little intense, but you'll learn fast. I already knew who Bianca was. I'd known her name for 7 years. I just hadn't said it out loud yet. She came toward me with the kind of walk that made people move out of the way without being asked to. There she is, the one everyone's been talking about. Good things, I hope. She laughed. Soft, warm, practiced. Depends who you ask. Come on, I'll show you where the bodies are buried, figuratively. I smiled. I had been listening for a laugh like that for 7 years. I recognized the edge underneath it immediately. By 11 that morning, I'd already found it. A folder permission that didn't match its own timestamp. Small, the kind of nobody notices unless they already know to look. Hey, this export log says Tuesday, but the client notes say Monday. Typo? Bianca answered half a second too fast. Typo. Happens all the time. Don't worry about it. I said okay. I smiled, and I wrote the timestamp down on a sticky note I slipped into my bag. Not my desk drawer, my bag. In the break room, a man with tired eyes and a company badge introduced himself as Noah. You're new, Elena, right? That's me, and data security for my sins. Word of advice, around here, don't worry about it usually means worry about it. I almost laughed. He had no idea how right he was, or how long I'd already been worrying. Then the phones started going off all at once. Wait. Is that the Faro Drive? Did someone just? The floor erupted, chairs scraping, voices climbing over each other. My manager's voice, sharp and fast. Everyone stop what you're doing. The Faro client files were just copied to an external drive. I need to know who was in that folder in the last hour. And then, softly, carefully, Bianca's voice. Margot. I don't want to point fingers, but Elena was asking about the export logs 20 minutes ago. I told her not to touch it. 20 minutes. I hadn't even finished my first full day, and already the story was being written for me. Elena, is that true? I could feel every version of this moment stacking on top of the last. My father's face across a table just like this one. 7 years ago. 1 company ago. Denying it hadn't saved him, so I chose something else. I asked a question about a timestamp. That's all I did. Bianca didn't even look at me when she answered. I'm sure it's nothing. New people, new systems. It's an easy mistake. An easy mistake. She said it like a kindness. It wasn't. It was the first brick. Elena, I'm going to need you to sit down with me in IT this afternoon, just to clear it up. Of course. I said it easily. Pleasantly, even. Because I already knew what those logs would eventually show. Just not yet, and not to anyone but me. I found the stairwell empty and let the heavy door close behind me. 4 counts in. 6 counts out. My father taught me that. He learned it the hard way. After a leak he never touched cost him everything, and no one above him ever answered for it. I used to think he was weak for not fighting harder. I don't think that anymore. I think he simply didn't have what I have, a timestamp that didn't match. A woman who answered half a second too fast, and a name I've been carrying since I was 19 years old, waiting for the day I'd finally be close enough to use it. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I didn't look at it. Not yet. Let them think I don't know anything. I've waited 7 years to walk back into this building. I can wait a little longer to walk out of it the right way. By Thursday, people had stopped meeting my eyes in the hallway. Nobody said anything directly. Nobody had to. A missing good morning. A meeting invite that quietly disappeared from my calendar. A group lunch I heard about only because I walked past the table where it was happening. Small things. That's how it always starts. Bianca, meanwhile, was everywhere. Don't worry about Elena. She's still finding her feet. Let's just be kind. She said it, like she was defending me. She said it in front of exactly the people who needed to hear it that way. I watched her do it 3 times in 2 days. Each time it worked. She brought pastries to the new associates' desks. Not mine. She remembered someone's dog's name. Not mine. She laughed at Noah's terrible jokes in the break room, like they were the funniest thing she'd heard all year. He's sweet, isn't he? A little awkward, but sweet. I said nothing. I had seen this exact performance before, in a different office, under different lighting, aimed at a different target. My father used to call it the softening. You don't attack someone people already like first. You make sure they don't like them anymore. Elena, do you have a second? Margot's voice from her office doorway. Careful, the kind of careful that meant she'd rehearse this. I sat across from her. I've had 2 people mention you seem distracted, distant, maybe. I've been focused on the Pharaoh files, making sure I understand the account properly. Right, of course. A pause. Look, I liked you the moment I met you. I still do. But I need you to understand how this looks. New hire, first week, and a client file gets copied without authorization. I have to ask the obvious questions. I understand. I did understand. I understood it better than she knew. She didn't say Bianca's name once. She didn't have to. Bianca's version of events had already moved through the office ahead of me. Quiet and unhurried, like water finding every low place in a room. Before anyone notices the floor is wet. That night, I went home to my apartment and did the thing I always did when the walls started closing in. I opened the second box. Not the one with dishes, not the one with winter clothes. The one at the very back of my closet. The one I hadn't fully unpacked in 3 years, because unpacking it always felt like something I couldn't take back. My father's things. A pen with a company logo that didn't exist anymore. An employee badge deactivated. The photo on it younger than I remembered him ever looking. And underneath all of it, a manila envelope I knew by heart before I even opened it. Inside, a single printed photo curling at the corners. A company holiday party. 14 people, arms around each other. The kind of smile you only wear for a camera. My father, front row, laughing at something out of frame. And behind him, half-turned, caught mid-sentence, barely in the shot at all, a young woman. Early 20s. Different haircut. 10 pounds lighter, maybe. But the same eyes, the same tilt of the chin, when she was about to say something she didn't mean. I had looked at this photo probably 200 times in 7 years. I had never once looked at the girl in the background, because until 3 weeks ago, I had no reason to. I sat on my apartment floor for a long time, holding a piece of paper that was older than some of my co-workers' careers, staring at a face I now saw every single day. 22 years old in this photo. An intern, probably junior enough that nobody thought to write her name on the back, old enough to already know exactly how to make sure nobody ever would. My phone buzzed. A text from Margot. IT meeting moved to tomorrow 9 a.m. Noah will be there too. Just a formality, I'm sure. I set the phone down. I looked at the photo again. Just a formality. That's what they always call it. Right up until it isn't. I didn't sleep much that night. Not because I was afraid. Because for the first time in 7 years, I had a face to go with the story I'd been carrying. And I finally understood something I hadn't let myself understand before. She hadn't just ruined my father by accident. She'd been practicing this her whole career. I was never going to be the first person she did this to. I intended to make sure I was the last.